Right, 22 August 2025, and today I'm excited to be giving you the morning update, and this is a shorter version, as we were advised that many people would like us to keep it under 30 minutes. So let me try to go through the stories that I've got as quickly as possible, and then we'll take it from there. So we start today with a shocking story that is a land scam involving Mnangagwa and Daniel Garwe. So this is shocking because in December, Mnangagwa gave back title deeds to PPC Cement, a big company in Zimbabwe, which was previously called Portland Cement. And that was all fine. It was explained as an error which occurred in 2010 when the farm or the land was repossessed. So Zimbabweans were told that the company was being given back its land to perform its work. However, today, it has emerged that the company has got no intention of carrying out any work on the land in question and has instead sold the land for $30 million to Jeremy Brook here, who is a developer at Arlington Estates. So Arlington Estates is one of the biggest developments in Harare. And what has happened is that due to this deal, PPC Cement is going to get $30 million. They are then going to take the money out of Zimbabwe through the Reserve Bank and through, as they are listed on the stock exchange, they have to do some sort of dividend to the people who are shareholders in their company. So the question arises of what was the point of giving PPC Cement back the land when PPC Cement had no intention of doing any industrial work on the land in question. The land had already been given to a housing corporation called Nyikavanu Housing Corporation, with many, many families already having pegged that land. And a process was not followed. So Mnangagwa was brought into the process to facilitate a corrupt deal. Not only that, there is a court case currently in the courts between Nyikavanu and Mnangagwa and Daniel Garwe and Arlington Estates regarding the land in question. But they are bulldozing the process, the approval has been given, and PPC Cement is being allowed to sell land while the court process is still ongoing. And when they have got no particular interest except to sell the land, so why were they given back the land? It can only mean one thing: a corrupt deal has taken place. They donated 60,000 tons of cement in December when they met Mnangagwa. What has happened to the cement and who is benefiting from the deal? So Arlington Estates is one of the biggest properties, as I said, around Harare. And it is clear that Mnangagwa is connected to whoever is developing this land, and this whole deal is corrupt. So there is a big likelihood that the sale is not going to go through, but the payment for 30 million has already been made to PPC Cement, who did not need the land. They just took the land, but they did not need it. That is why they just sold the land. What a crazy thing and unbelievable for Mnangagwa to be involved in such a scam. And it's becoming clear that the whole land reform in Zimbabwe is a scam. There is no land reform taking place in Zimbabwe. The whole thing is a scam. Now, let's go to some quick stories because that is done. Now, let's go to Mutangadura. Mutangadura is going to be buried today. The body is going to be taken from Nyaradzo at 3. I showed you the program yesterday. And there's going to be a night vigil at his home, Mtanga's hideout. However, I just want to clarify that there has been no arrests made in the Mutangadura case, like I said last night, the police have confirmed it. You can go to the Herald newspaper. No arrests have been made. No arrests are going to be made. You will see that this case is going to drag on and become a cold case, given the reasons that we've shown you as to who is behind the murder of the popular businessman, Joseph Mutangadura. This is an inside job within ZANU-PF. So you'll never find out what happened, and there will be no arrests. You are going to hear a lot of fake stories about arrests and people being called murderers. This person killed him or that person killed him. But you're not going to find the actual person who did it because it's an inside job within ZANU-PF. Then Chiwenga is going to be traveling to India. So that means currently there is no one in the presidium left in Zimbabwe, with Mnangagwa in Japan, Muhadi in Angola, and Chiwenga in India. So that is 3 of the presidium outside of the country, and that leaves Auxiliary Mnangagwa as the acting president of Zimbabwe. The acting president of Zimbabwe is probably Opamchinguri right now, because all the 3 are out. I don't know if that is allowed, but I thought that it was not allowed to have 3 of the presidium outside the country at the same time. But as we speak right now, all 3 are outside the country. Then let's go to a sad story. Guys, nothing of this sort has ever happened in Zimbabwe. And I'm going to be displaying Chief Mchane here, just for the representation of what has happened. It has happened in the raw areas of Mambuzi. A man has gone amok or run amok and has killed 5 people at Mambuzi with an axe and a log. So a horror movie is nothing compared to what has happened at Mambuzi, where a man, 43-year-old Pamani Sibanda, ran amok, and that is 2 days ago, killing 5 people and injuring 2 others. He killed Elliot Kupe, 101, Buto Chuma, 97, Constance Sibanda, 66, Tiffany surprisingly 6, and Bella's village, I do not know her age, and 2 other people survived. That is 90-year-old and 41-year-old. This is crazy. I cannot believe it that this happened in Zimbabwe, but this has happened in rural Matabeleland. 5 people dead at Mambuzi through a serious mentally ill person who has run amok and killed everybody. Then, in another bizarre case that cannot be explained, the people you're watching on your screen are 3 forensics or accident forensic specialists. They've been arrested and they were kept in jail until yesterday when they were granted bail. So, South African Pretorius Walter James Seymour, 51, and Germishuizen Danica, 23, along with the Zimbabwean Cooper Daniel Colin, 33, have pleaded guilty after they went to the accident scene at Chitungwiza, where 17 people died in July. When they arrived there, Seymour, a crash data forensics analyst, and Danica, a data forensic expert, who were on a business visa, started to draw lines and put tape and paint around the accident scene. It is not clear why they were doing it and who gave them permission, but they did it. And then one of the Zimbabwe police officials who was driving along the highway, that is Chief Inspector Mapepa, found them doing it, and he asked them what they were doing. They could not explain what they were doing, so they were arrested and they've been in jail until they were released on bail of 200 each. If they fail to pay $200, they will be in prison for 4 months each. That is for obstructing the road. So I don't understand what is going on here. We're going to dig deeper into this situation. Why were these guys on that road? Why were they drawing? Why did they block the road? So that is the South Africans that have been arrested in Harare and have been presented with a fine. So I do not know what's written on those jackets, but there is something going on here. What is it? Why were they on that exam scene? And it goes back to the owners of the truck and so forth. Very bizarre situation taking place. And you can go and see the story in almost all the newspapers that we have in Zimbabwe. And then in Malawi, the presidential debate has been held, and the president of Malawi has boycotted. That is Chakwera. He boycotted, he didn't come. And also Peter Mutharika has boycotted, he didn't come. I do not know why they didn't come, but the 3 people who did appear did very, very well. That is Dalito Kabambe of UTM, Atupele Muluzi of UDF, and former President Joyce Banda. They did so well. And in fact, the 2 are now front runners. So the 2 guys who came are now front runners. And one of them is the former Reserve Bank governor of Malawi. So Malawi has got a very interesting presidential race with the 5 front runners. But these 2 guys who came to the presidential debate are going to do very, very well. Malawi, I like it. Their elections are transparent at the moment. They have got processes, and the Electoral Commission appears to be doing a good job. And I like what they're doing. It appears they are going in the right direction compared to other people whose names won't mention. And then another case, which is bizarre, is the Miss Grand Zimbabwe. You can go check out the story inside of the Newsday newspaper. Miss Grand Zimbabwe is a beauty pageant. And for some strange reason, this pageant has now been handed over to South Africans. So South Africans are going to be running this pageant. It was started by Samantha Chuma, and that was in 2013 when she was Miss Zimbabwe. I don't know if Miss Zimbabwe or another Miss Zimbabwe, but then she went and represented Zimbabwe after starting the pageant. So she started a pageant to represent Zimbabwe. Then after that, she just left it. And then in 2016, someone else took it over, but they never ran it. And these new people, mother and daughter, you can see these 2. That is Tumi Giane and Gumede. So Ndo Gumede are now running the Zimbabwean pageant. So it makes no sense to me. However, these 2 have got the most number of pageants. If you look at them, they also run the Miss Teen South Africa. And then in business, Rainbow Tourism Group has bought the property that I'm displaying to you here in Cape Town. So this is a prime property. They're going to be running a hotel here. They're going to convert this big building, which is 7 floors, into a hotel. And currently, I see that there is a Rosebank College running here and other shops. So they're going to convert it into a hotel. And Zimbabwe is now entering, so Rainbow Tourism is now entering the Cape Town market, the lucrative Cape Town market, where hotels are always full. So hotels in Cape Town have so much happening, and they're right next to the Cape Town International Conference Center. So look out for this important development. They've also recently bought a hotel in Vumba. And then obviously, the big news is that Google has launched their next version of their phones, the Google Pixel 10 Pro. They've also launched a foldable phone. So go check this out. If you're in the United States of America, you probably have this phone. It's about $700 or somewhere around there. Then let's quickly look at the newspapers. We want to look at Victoria Falls and Makadzi. So let's go to B Metro newspaper. So I'm going to quickly display for you. Makadzi is going to be appearing at a pageant in, not a pageant, a festival in Victoria Falls. So let's look at B Metro. So B Metro is a very interesting newspaper. Always scandals. Bulawayo is the city of cheating. So always about cheating. So every time I read the newspapers in Malawi, it's all about who is cheating on who. But in this particular case, Victoria Falls is about to erupt with the music and movement. The event is set to be held on 19 September, the first ever Victoria Falls Spring Fiesta. So if you like it, make sure you're ready to go to Victoria Falls. Just don't go by road. Unofina Mahara. And then let's go to let's go to the independent newspaper, the Independent Zimbabwe. I don't know if they published. Right, there's nothing in the Zimbabwe Independent. Let's go to Manica Post. Right, Manica Post is published. So let's quickly look at Manica Post, one of the well-done newspapers. They do a lot of work because the weekly newspaper. I don't know what you do in a weekly newspaper, what you spend your day doing. The ZANU-PF conference perhaps hit top gear. So I want to pause here and show you guys in the opposition how serious ZANU-PF is. So ZANU-PF has got 10 provinces, and they've asked each province to donate $50,000. However, the provinces have outdone themselves. So Manicaland has donated $300,000 to the conference. That is before we talk of Tagwire and all that. They are making massive developments at the venue of the conference. So ZANU-PF is a very serious political party. And our people need to understand, especially the opposition players, that you cannot win elections against ZANU when you're not serious. So at the moment, no one is serious. Mnangagwa is getting money from everywhere, including dodgy sources. But they do have money. ZANU-PF, when they do have an annual conference or congress or youth conference, it's well funded. So if you're in the opposition, don't think you can just win with no resources. That is one thing I just wanted to say here about this story in the Manica Post. They are doing very, very well. And ZANU-PF is collecting massive amounts of resources for whatever they're doing. And then let's go to other stories very quickly inside this newspaper. Congratulations to Sugar Chagonda. Sugar Chagonda is settling down at the ZBC. I don't know if he's doing a good job or not, but I see that their quality is deteriorating. So the quality of production, especially on the 8 o'clock news, it's as if they've got no equipment at all. It's shocking. That is something that everyone watches. I don't know why they've got such poor equipment and video. So it's terrible. And then we've got a lot of other local stories here. Tourism, trout farming, and this newspaper is well done. Go check out the Manica Post newspaper, one of the probably well done newspapers. Let's see who are these beautiful young ladies here. So a variety new school DJs, University of Queens headline Weekend of Bliss. So if you want to know about new school DJs, University of Queens, go check it out over here. You'll be blessed. And then let's see who else. CAF's heartfelt return to Zimbabwe. So Leano Matanda, formerly known as CAF, is back in Zimbabwe after a 3-year dance in Mozambique and South Africa. He's back home. And then let's see what other newspaper I've missed here. H Metro Zimbabwe. What is H Metro saying? H Metro. Sometimes they're scary. Stories are so scary. They scare me. So let's go to the scary stories. Let's see who wrote this story. I always like to see who writes an H Metro story. These guys are amazing. So that is Mkoma Wangu Robson Sharoko is doing more work. Like he's writing most of the stories. I don't know if he inspired the guys. So He's writing about Micah in England. Go check out had entry into the UK. And then we've got that story I'm telling you about here. You see that they're also carrying it. So now let's find out why they were here. So the three were ordered to pay $200. They quoted that Seymour and Danica are car crash forensic experts. The two, who are based in Johannesburg, came into Zimbabwe in August 20 and were issued with a business visa by immigration authorities. The purpose of their visit was to investigate the accident crime scene at the Unyani River where people died. The duo teamed up with Colin and proceeded to the accident scene where they started marking the scrape marks using paint and a tape measure. In so doing, they were obstructing the movement of traffic from the Harare CBD to Chitungwiza, thereby causing a traffic jam. They were not able to give a satisfactory answer as to why they were performing the task without informing the local authorities. So I believe that the problem was that they did not tell the local guys why they were doing this. So you can also see that the names are different here. Cooper Daniel Colin, 33. And the name that I initially gave you. So what was the name I initially gave you? Okay, I gave you the same name, Cooper Daniel Colin. So I don't understand what is the problem, but they have been arrested. They will be fined for working without the local police. And then let's look at Areme Jacob Mafume. He's going into some insurance cover for Harare residents. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. If the Harare Council should be doing accident covers and all that. I don't know, guys, whether we are in the right direction or not. And I don't want to comment about Mafume. He's a kind of nice guy to me. And so I don't want to say anything bad. Now let's go to Botswana. So in Botswana, President Mnangagwa is in trouble after his son met the delegation from the UAE. So I'm not saying much about that. I think it's just a storm in a teacup. President Mnangagwa is not corrupt. He's a very nice guy. And then let's go to President Advocate Fadzai Mahere. Good morning, 5 a.m. club. Don't fight meaningless battle. Not every opinion is worth your energy. Don't argue with people who are committed to misunderstanding you. Live your best life. Live your best life. Right. Don't fight meaningless battles. Do you get that? Keep it close to your chest. Madam Boss, let's see. Madam Boss, I like it. As long as she's not doing anything to do with Scotland. So what she's saying here, she was live, and then she also did something at the Harare Agricultural Show and a lot of other things. You can go check it out. She's probably the most sponsors. She's got the most sponsors, sponsorships in Zimbabwe. And also here is Shirikadzi. Shirikadzi. She is doing Shirikadzi here. Every time she deals with the Shirikadzi, she's got a black duke, but today she doesn't have the black duke. So go check out Madam Boss. Let's see what SADC is doing. SADC Executive Secretary Mahosi discusses strengthening bilateral cooperation at TICAD. So he went to TICAD. He's also there in Tokyo. And you can see he's avoiding Mnangagwa. They are keeping as far away from each other as possible. And then that guy is a sellout. And then President Hakainde Hichilema, always doing something important. We held a bilateral meeting with the Minister of Foreign Affairs of the State of Israel, Mr. Gideon Safa. So that is President Hakainde Hichilema, a Christian man and one of the best presidents in our region. I like President Hakainde Hichilema. He's amazing. And then let's look at President Mnangagwa here. In a historical move with President Advocate Mnangagwa, cited will be enough to address immediate challenges facing the country. Botswana government and Qatar signed a substantive agreement worth $12 billion. Guys are moving to Botswana. $12 billion. I'm getting some of that $12 billion. And then Chido Sanyatwe You know that Senyato is going to be president. He's going to contest. So let's see what she's saying over here. So she didn't say much new, only what she had the other day. I don't know why Facebook is showing me some new stuff. And Minnie is not posted because she's on the road. You know, they take away her phones when she's on the road so that she doesn't start taking pictures. So I think I've covered everybody. Let's look at my homeboy, Nelson Chamisa. What is Chamisa saying today? Chamisa, God is in it. Let's see what he said today. So Nelson Chamisa is one of the only people that I go to look at. If you look at my X, you see that I only go there to look at Chamisa. I follow Chamisa very closely. And he still got the same tweet. So let's go to his WhatsApp channel, the Chamisa News channel. If you've got WhatsApp and you go to updates, then you look for Chamisa News channel, you will see that Chamisa is one of the most followed channels in Zimbabwe. So here in this one, he still got the same. So there's nothing new. He's posted the same. Nelson Chamisa, on Sunday, we're going to give you an interesting update regarding President Advocate. And then what we're going to do with M31. Guys, this is amazing. What we're doing is amazing. When you hear this music, that is M31 Zimbabwe Sangena. We're going to do very, very well. We need a coalition. We need to do well in our country. We'll never do well with the ZANU, Ayaka broker. Okay, I think we've covered most of the stuff that I wanted to cover. And now let's go and recap and bring this to an end. Exactly 30 minutes. That is what we need to do. And let's recap with the big story of the day. A big scandal has broken out where Mnangagwa gave back title deeds to PPC Cement. And the purpose was they would give back that land because PPC wanted to do work on that land. However, immediately after being given that land, PPC Cement has taken the very same land and sold it for $30 million. And that means they did not even intend to use the land at all for anything. And the man connected it to this land is Arlington Estate developer, Jeremy Brook. So that is Arlington Estate. They are developing houses. One of the biggest residential developments is Arlington Estates in Harare, next to the airport. However, that is not the only problem. The problem is that there is a group of homeowners or a cooperative with thousands and thousands of families who are challenging this decision in court and already had been granted permission to develop there. So Mnangagwa was brought in to scare those young people or those cooperative people. And therefore, the land development or land resettlement in Zimbabwe is a scam. The whole thing is a scam. The land reform that is taking place in Zimbabwe means nothing. People are just taking land for instance now, the families are in court saying we've got documents for this land. The land was given to us through the government resettlement program. They've been repossessed. The land has been taken, given to PPC, and PPC, very rich people with a lot of money, took the land and sold it. They didn't even do anything with it. And they're going to take the money and put it in their pocket. That is Trabablas, Zaka Broker, and Mnangagwa is right in the middle of it. After being given only 60,000 tons of cement, where did the cement go? What is Garwe doing? What is Mnangagwa doing? What is their interest in this corrupt deal? And PPC Cement, I do not know why they've been allowed to carry out such a corrupt deal. Terrible corruption in Harare. Okay, now let's go to our sponsors and we'll be out. And our sponsor is Mve. Buy one packet if you're in the UK and get one packet free. So let me explain that this is the last week of this special. So after this week, there'll be no special. Buy your packet now and get a packet for free. Usatongwe Nema salad. And then our second sponsor is the camera. So I've opened the camera. Don't mind the tear. So this camera will allow you, it's a solar camera, to remotely monitor home, to sense all movements at your house, and you'll be able to record any strange things that happen when you're not at home. And let's say you're driving home in the evening, you first of all check, did anyone move? Did anyone move? And then you're safe. And if someone attacks you, we'll be able to see who attacked you in the investigation. It won't be like the case of Mutangadura, where we don't even know who did attack him. And the Zimbabwe intelligence is like, maybe it's that guy. Maybe it's that guy. Maybe it's that guy. Imagine that. Marco investigator, what we call a botched investigating, Shaka broker, and you need your own security in Zimbabwe. Mapurisa, they've got no capacity. Like this young man said, Simbarashe, Mandizidza, we need to have a family talk. And unfortunately, he has not appeared in court. So I'll let you guys know. As soon as he appears in court, I'll let you know what has happened. And it's exactly 31 minutes and 40 seconds. I'm late by 1 minute. Thank you very much, everyone, for watching. I'll see you again a little bit later. The stories we're following that we've not caught up with include the death of Brenda Zvinorova, who died. That is the girlfriend of Winjira, and Angelini Masuku. And as I said, the story of Simbarashi Mandishitsa. So we'll catch up with those stories and we'll let you know. There's also the African story where a Kenyan cult has killed thousands and thousands of people and buried them. So yesterday they found more bodies. We'll be giving you those stories as time goes. Thank you very much, everyone, for watching. And I'll see you again a little bit later. And a good day to you all.